and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the Dior Quint in Denim. This was part of their new eyeshadow collection that launched in the fall instead of their fall collection, but it is permanent. So I thought, despite the fact that it's already a couple of months old, I could still do a nice video on it and show you what the potential of this palette is. I created this nice dark and smoky look with it, and I'll show you in a little bit how I did that, and I'll tell you my final thoughts. But first, let's do some swatches. I'm swatching them from the blue shade clockwise and then finishing up with the gold one. As you can see, these are very nice blue shades and one gold, which is a little bit lackluster, I think. It's just too close to my skin tone. It is a pretty color, it has some sheen, but it's just too close to my skin tone to really work. And you can see I tried to use it in the eye look today, but you can barely notice it, so that's a bit of a disappointment. But the blues are very beautiful. These are all tapped in a little bit and then swatched once. You saw it. So we have this bright blue, we have this sparkly teal, we have this navy, which is actually, let me see how it looks if you build it up. You see, that's actually quite dark. This is the darkest shade in the palette. And then you have this little bit darker teal. And these shades are very beautiful, I think. So I'm not sure how much this retails for in the US or in England or anywhere else. I personally paid about 48 euros for it because it was on a discount, but originally these are about 65 euros here. So it depends completely on you if that's worth it for you, but I really love this palette and I'm very happy with it. But first, let's go into this look. And remember to subscribe if you haven't yet. I'm trying to grow my channel, so please consider it, and let's jump into the look. So today we're playing with the Denim palette. It has this beautiful blue color story with a bright blue, a navy blue, and two kind of teal blues and a gold. And I think we can make something pretty with this. I already primed my eyes using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer, and let's go! So I think the star of the show of this palette is really the bright blue. So I think we almost have to use that one. And therefore I'm going to see if I can use the navy blue and use it lightly in my crease. I'm using this fluffy brush by Essence. I think this blue shears out nicely. It's kind of like the blue from the Holiday palette, except it's a little bit lighter. And it does have a slight sheen, but nothing too bad. It's perfectly possible to use this in the crease. And as you can see, I'm putting it a little high because I want a dramatic look to this. But of course you could also just use this at the lash line. I'm also putting this in the outer corner, outer part of the lid. And I'm really trying to blend it out. Now, cleaning up the brush a little bit on my hand, I'm really going to blend out the edges as much as possible. It did become a little bit too dark. But you see, it does blend out nicely. So now I'm taking this more angled, precise brush, which is still technically a blender brush, but it is a lot smaller than the other one. And I'm trying to build up the dark blue more low on the eye in the crease, to really darken up that outer corner. And that is the base for our look. It's a little bit dark, but I'm going to fix that later. Now I'm using this dense packing brush, which is a little bit more compact. And I'm going into that nice bright blue I showed you earlier. And I'm really going to pack this on the lid. Oh, this is actually a little bit darker than I was thinking it would be. I'm also putting it in the inner corner. I think this blue is beautiful. And it performs really well. It really blends in with the dark blue very nicely. Now let's see if we can lighten up the edge a little bit using the gold shade. So I'm taking this large packing brush by Too Faced and I'm going into the gold and see if I can lighten up the edge a little bit. I think that worked. That's better. It's difficult because you have a palette with only colorful shades and they're all quite dark except for the gold one. So there's not really a transition shade in the original sort of way. So I think I went a little bit crazy with the blue. But it is pretty. The blue is very pretty. I'm also going to do the lower lash line because I don't want any blue fallout on my foundation later. And I think once I put on my foundation and all my other face makeup, this will really pull together. So I'm going in with the smaller packing brush. And I'm now taking the teal color over here. And I'm putting that underneath the lower lash line. This is a very pretty color. This one deserved to be all over the lid as well. Now finally, with a smaller smudger brush, I'm going to take the lighter teal shade and I'm going to put that underneath the tear duct. This is a nice shimmery shade. I think we're also going to put this on the lid a little bit. I'm taking my finger and I'm going into the glittery teal shade and I'm putting this lightly on top of the other colors on the lid. Just to give some extra sparkle and dimension. Then as a final step, I'm trying to see if I can use this gold shade to use it as an inner corner highlight. I think this gold one is almost the color of my skin tone, so I'm not sure if it really helps. And I'm also putting that underneath the brow bone. So this is our very dramatic blue look. I'm going to put on some face makeup, some mascara, maybe some lashes, etc. And I'll show you the final look in just a second. So this is the finished look. I finished off with the Dior Pure Gold Highlighting Palette, the BH Truffle blush in the nude shade, and 402 Adrienne by Chanel on my lips. And all the other things will be listed below in the description box. Now let's talk about this palette for a little bit. I'll come a little closer and you can see how beautiful the blue shades are. They really are impeccable. They really blend out perfectly. They also pack on really well, and the colors are very vibrant. The only thing that could be wrong with this palette for you is that there are a lot of colorful shades and not really any brown transition shades. And that for some people is a downside. I don't mind. I like this all blue look. I think it's very dramatic and very smoky and I love it. But I think I could also tone this down a little bit. Just a little bit. So for me this is perfect because I like blue. But if you don't like blue, don't buy this palette. It's not for you. That being said, if you are looking for a nice blue, turquoisey, teal palette in your collection, I think this is a really good one. And I don't think you would be disappointed. So far, all these new reformulated eyeshadow palettes by Dior have been wonderful, and I've heard nothing else of other people as well. So that's totally on you what you want to do, but I definitely recommend them. So that was it for my review today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you consider subscribing to my channel. It would mean so much to me if I could grow just a little bit, because I only just started out and I could really use some more people to talk about makeup and art, because that's what I love to do. Alright, see you in the next one. Bye!